Hello, friends. When I look at these two little beauties, it takes me back to that horrible moment 10 months ago when my husband came into the house and said, "I can't find the Foal anywhere. It's missing." Oh, how my heart dropped like a stone. But Favor is weaned now, and he and Summer are best friends. They are never far from one another. They have a bond that was forged on that very first night when Summer looked after and protected our newborn colt. You know, looking back on your life is actually very good for you. According to a study in psychosomatic medicine in 2009, there is a 57% reduced risk of dying in the next 5 years for people who reflected on their lives with gratitude and purpose. And in 2015, a study on heart patients found that positive reflection is associated with better heart health, lower stress hormones, and improved sleep. Yes, reflecting and reframing negative events can actually help you live longer. Now, what does that look like in action? So, when you are looking back on your life, this is your chance to reframe these negative events. Instead of saying, "Oh, poor me, bad things always happen to me, why me, woe is me," instead, ask yourself these 3 questions. What can I learn from this? Turn your pain into a teacher. You can spot patterns and avoid repeating mistakes. Question number 2, how can this make me stronger and more prepared in the future? Use this negative event to build your courage, your patience, and your resilience. Question number 3, what hidden good can come out of this now or later? Now, this could be the lesson that you've learned, or a new direction that you're going to take, or even just a chance to help someone else in the future because of what you've been through and what you've learned from it. You know, reflecting on your life is nothing new. Way back in the book of Genesis, there's a story about a guy named Joe. And he was one of 12 brothers. And his dad had kind of singled him out as the favorite. He'd given him a fancy coat with lots of colors in it. And the brothers were quite jealous. They threw Joe into a pit and were going to leave him there to die. And then they thought they'd make a bit of money, so they sold him to some passing traders. And he got taken off to Egypt to become a slave. Then he got falsely accused and thrown into jail, and he was on death row, about to have his head cut off. And God turned those circumstances around for Joe. He ended up becoming the second in command of the country, the king's right-hand man. And through his gift of interpreting dreams and through the wisdom that God gave him, he saved thousands and thousands of people's lives by saving up loads and loads of grain because there was a big 7-year famine coming. Now, he ended up forgiving his brothers who came to him to buy grain. They didn't recognize him because he was all grown up now and Egyptianized. But Joseph says to his brothers, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." So Joseph was able to reframe that extremely negative event that affected his whole life in so many ways. And he was able to look at it now with new eyes and a new understanding. And I believe that that's what we need to be doing in our lives, looking back and seeing what we can learn from things and and what good could come out of these things that we go through that aren't good at, when you're going through the middle of a trial, it doesn't feel good. But you can trust that God is at work behind the scenes, turning that evil into good. So don't be stuck in the pain of a negative event in your past, but move towards the purpose you can find in this event. I want to say thank you very much for being here, and God bless you, and happy trails.